Welcome back to Breaking the Grip podcast. This week I'm joined by the Tartan Titan, David Winiarski.
Oh man, you good?
You had a lot of boxing fights prior to your bare knuckle that you're doing.
I boxed quite a lot when I was younger. I had about 60 odd boxing fights. Got ranged on the round crowd with someone one day and got myself in a bit of trouble. I think I got bottled and slashed when I was 14-year-old. That's what scarred us there, you know.
Is it?
Kyle Cassidy was just doing for purely support, but he's a bit of a nut job, so he taken his shots down on the off chance, and I thought, what are you doing? You're not going to get a fight on BKB last minute. Sure as shit. Somebody pulled out. Kyle was 3 Guinnesses deep.
4 kilograms like a normal kind of weight cut.
That's what I go. I like to be about 4, no more than 5 or 6. I think I fought on Cage Warriors. Jay Aspinwall I fought, and I remember cutting 9 kilos to cut, and it was the same day weigh-in, so it was not like I had a whole day to get it.
And really? You cut 9 kilos and fought on the same day?
I fought never
That's
again.
Madness.
Honestly, it was like my hands were made of lead.
Welcome back to Breaking the Grip podcast. I'm Jamie G, and this week I'm joined by the Tartan Titan, David Winiarski.
Oh man, you good?
Not bad, David. How are you, pal?
Yeah, good.
It's been a while since we've...
I know, yeah. We used to train together at Goliath many years ago.
That'd be, what, about 8, 9 years ago, maybe?
I'm not getting choked out now.
Well, to be fair, you're setting the world alight with what you're doing in the bare knuckle. I mean, it's great to see somebody local, Kelty, somebody that I've knew since, school with my sister, I think, yeah.
Bother.
I think you were, aye.
Probably many moons. Kelty's a small town, isn't it?
Aye. Well, you're definitely like somebody I knew of before Goliath.
Many moons ago.
But bare knuckle obviously doing great in that. Let's talk a wee bit about that. You've got your BKB
hoodie on, yeah, repping them, yeah. They've got a lot of new merch, so every time I go down there, it costs me a fortune.
Oh, do they not give you the stuff?
Well, they give you some stuff when you're fighting, but see when you go down to watch the shows, you've got to pay for them, unfortunately. But I don't mind because they're quite cool.
Aye, they're cool, to be honest.
The wee boys at school with them, everybody's going to be the hardest boy at the school. You can't remember bare knuckle boxing at the school. Nobody's going to be picking on him anyway.
Definitely, mate. Aye. So you were down there at the weekend?
Watching Tony the Tiger, Scottish guy. Another one, just kind of trying to get the Scottish guys into the promotion. You know, there's not much else there. I think I was the only guy there at one point, and Tony's come back. Now we have Kyle Cassidy for our gym. We had Craig Harrison fought on it. I don't think he's with them now, but we're trying to get Scottish boys into the show. They're trying to get a Scottish show up here, so we're trying to get the Scottish lads in. There's not much Scottish boys in now, so try to build it in. You know what I mean? We do it through. Obviously, I've got the gentlemen's club, so that's kind of what the gentlemen were talking to. BKB were actually up at the weekend there. We had to be sit down and had a dinner, and we're trying to make it like we're going to be like the feeder company. So anybody that's going to do well in our promotion, maybe a few champions in our promotion, can get a chance to fight on the bigger platforms at BKB. So we're just talking in the early stages of talks of that now. So that would be a good move, especially for the gentlemen's club. You know what I mean? A bit representation at BKB. You know what I mean?
Aye, so the gentlemen's club, is that like a boxing club that you're running now then?
Me and my coach Stephen Harris obviously runs Goliath. We got together and so it came up, there's all these unlicensed boxing shows, let's get out taste of the pie, you know what I mean? So we've run our own show, it's bare knuckle, a hybrid boxing, which I'm a world champion in as well, which is a boxing with MMA gloves, and obviously just normal boxing. So a lot of wee hard nut jobs into your want to fucking scrap, so let's just give them a chance to show if they really are mental.
Aye, so the gentlemen's club, is that an actual like club as such?
No, it's just we called it the gentlemen's club. It's just a boxing promotion. Me and Harris run. We called it the gentlemen's club because the boxing's a gentleman's sport. Okay, obviously when you jump in the ropes or you shut the gate or whatever you do to get in the cage, you know, it's you're all gentlemanly until that happens, and then after that you shake hands. So it's a gentleman's sport. You know what I mean? It's just fighters. It's a show that's as old as time. You know what I mean? People have been fighting for as old as time. So I thought, let's call it the gentlemen's club.
Aye, and you had a lot of boxing fights prior to your MMA and your bare knuckle that you're doing.
I boxed quite a lot when I was younger. When I was maybe about up to 12, up to maybe about 18, I had about 60 odd boxing fights. Got ranged on the round crowd with someone one day and got myself in a bit of trouble. I think I got bottled and slashed when I was 14-year-old. That's what scarred us there, you know.
Is it?
Aye. Just got involved with the wrong people. Not involved with the wrong people, just wrong place, wrong time, fighting with someone. I was 14-year-old and the guys were 30-year-old. Bottled and slashed, and then obviously then for that I got kicked out the GB team. So I was on the road to Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Right. I was a number 1 select, and obviously with that they can't be seen to be causing trouble in the streets. So that kind of turned my trajectory in a different manner. I ended up going down not a dark path, but just out drinking and up to nonsense with your pals for a wee while, 18-year-old, you know, chasing women and all that nonsense. And then obviously I found my way back into MMA through obviously Stephen Harris and things like that. And then I've had 8 MMA fights, 6 and 2 I'm sitting at. And then obviously I've fell back into the bare knuckle.
Aye, do you feel like bare knuckles like the best for you, like best suited for you?
I remember my first fight, I remember laughing at the backstage and everybody's thinking I'm crazy, like what are you laughing for? It's bare knuckles, you'd be intimidated. But I've been with Stephen, obviously I've been with Goliath for 13 years and I've only ever been beat, 3 times now in 13 years. And it's every time I've been beaten in MMA, it's when somebody's taken me down and cuddled me, you know what I mean? So I remember thinking to myself, well, nobody's taking me down this time. You know what I mean? So I felt more excited than I was nervous. In my MMA fights I was always kind of nervous for because it's unknown. I know I can dodge punches, you know what I mean? You're not dodging takedowns.
Aye. You're definitely more suited for the bare knuckle. I think your boxing was, I remember you fighting MMA and your boxing was like just first class.
The MMA, you've got to counteract that with the takedowns. It's not to counteract my striking when you're in the bare knuckle, you know. So that was
that's the leg kicks and all that as well that you're probably not used to.
Well, people say that to me, bare knuckle seems crazy, but I think getting kicked in the legs even crazier. And you can't not be able to walk. Or I remember the first time I done my first fight, tried to go for a shite next morning. I was done in the stages. It took me about 30-40 seconds to get down for the toilet. It was unbelievable. I swear to God, honestly, I couldn't walk. I stayed in an upstairs house as well, so she tried to get down the stairs. It took me about 3-4 minutes.
It's brutal, especially if you're not chatting any of them.
Just walking through them and just trying to land my punches.
You mentioned Tony the Tiger there. Let's talk about that because Tony's made a right mess of Davenport's nose last week in Cardiff, but you were there.
I was in a circle. We get obviously the free tickets, so I tried to treat a few boys for the gym, take them down and show them what it's all about. Because bare knuckle, people still think it's hay bales, and I say to people bare knuckle, and they look at me like I'm a traveller, or they look at me like you're mental. But that's not. It's a multi-million-dollar company, like I've said before. So I take them down and I give them the experience to show them that look, it's these are millionaires that are putting the shows on, and they're in big arenas. You know what I mean? So I take them down. Tony really impressed me. He was slick. He looked good. He just walked onto shots. His chin was in the air. That's the only problem I would say with him. But that adds to the excitement because you know he's going to get hit any time.
There's absolutely no hiding in bare knuckle.
Especially in the triangle, it's small. It's bigger than you actually think, but it is still small, like, you know. And it's like the weird angles and things like that.
I'm glad you mentioned the trigon because in the last episode I was talking to Stevie Ray about bare knuckle, and I just assumed that all bare knuckle was in the trigon, but obviously now I know it's which obviously Stevie mentioned it was the BKB that you're involved in.
A lot of people didn't realise there's 2 different promotions. You know, there's like obviously BKB was on the scene first. You know, Jim Freeman ran it for a long while. I remember watching those fights back in the day. The Americans have obviously bought a wee bit of the shares or whatever it is, and they've brought the concept of the triangle, the trigon it's called. They've brought that over there. But a lot of people didn't realise there's 2 different promotions. There's BKFC, which is obviously the Conor McGregor one that's famous for, and there's a BKB, which is the first one on the scene, the old dogs.
Right, so they're first then, were they?
They were here for, talking about 10, 15 years at least.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. BKFC's quite rather new to the game, you know what I mean? They're doing well, but they're rather new to the game, you know. BKB's tried and tested, they've been in for a long while.
Right, so do you think BKFC are paying like higher wages then?
I don't know. Well, the thing is with BKFC, I've heard a few fighters being a bit disgruntled about the pay. You're waiting about 6 weeks to get paid, which, I mean, I didn't agree with that. But BKB, by the time I'm back in my changing room, or back home at least in the hotel, I'm paid.
Really?
Aye, 12 hours, or maybe in 12 hours. I think it's the longest I've waited. I mean, at the end of the day, you're sitting with a mashed up face. You don't know what to wait 6 weeks. If they get your money, you want paid as soon as possible, but compensation.
Well, like when you first sat down before we started rolling, I was asking you about your
knuckles.
Your knuckles, and then I didn't realise as well, you explained it to me as well, that your knuckles aren't wrapped at all. No, it's just literally your wrists then.
They wrap up your hands, obviously, to help with your metacarpal bones and all your hands, and so you're not breaking any other bones apart from your knuckles. So they do look after you in that way. They do protect you as much as they can, but it is called bare knuckles, so you won't let your knuckles bare.
Right, okay. You're going to feel every knuckle then when you get punched.
You say that, but it's only this wee one knuckle here I feel. It's all in my left hand's absolutely fine. Right. You know, that's why obviously you'll see with Canelli, obviously the fights prior to Canelli, I was only throwing the left hand, lead hooks and all that kind of nonsense, but then Because every time I throw the right hand, I don't care if this knuckle stands out a bit more, but it seems to, every time I land it, it just seems to get sore and swollen.
It looks swollen right now. Is that still swollen
just
for
the way
the
it is.
fight?
I think that's naturally just a bigger knuckle.
Is it?
I don't know, that's maybe why it hurts so much, but
Right, but I mean, compared to mine, like,
I know.
like, you look at the differences.
I've got wee girls' hands,
Look
like,
at
but
that, there. That looks swollen, definitely. Aye, look, it's raised
it's big, eh?
compared to like.
It's just that, though, it's only that knuckle and my whole hands that get sore. Any two of them, it's just that one knuckle right there.
Aye. So, what do you think about the Trigon then? Do you think it's better for bare knuckle that you can't like? It's
not
going
dancing away.
Well, it's going to reduce your like defensive footwork, isn't it? For being able to
Well, I
circle
think
out
it's like,
and-
see that wee grey area where you're trying to step in to get people. So obviously you've got the wee bit, like I always say, like you've got the red zone where you're both got to strike each other, and then you've got this wee grey area where you're trying to get in without them noticing you get in.
Right.
So you've got to try and sneak in and fake it away, like feints and that. It takes all that away because you're always in the red area. So you've just got to engage. It takes that wee, like you've got to try and deceive people to get in closer. It takes all that away. You're just there. You know what I mean? You get a wee bit of room to wriggle about, but it's like fighting in a phone box.
Right, that's exactly what it looks like. Aye, just
Aye.
like you're not getting like, because what pissed me off a lot of the time watching like Tyson Fury and like
Aye,
you're-
the dancing around and the
is-
cuddling and
it's just the like jabbing, circling away. They're
Yeah.
rarely in the pocket, and when they're in the pocket, they're just clinching up to the referee
Well,
splits.
the
it
thing
up.
is, even the clinching, you've got dirty boxing, so you're allowed to grab the back of the neck and work. So you've got the dirty boxing, so if anybody grabs you, you can just work your way in, which MMA helps me a wee bit with that. Grabbing, you can work the dirty boxing, so it's always, it's high energy, you know what I mean? You're working all the time.
Aye. Cam, do you want to see that clip there we were just talking about there with Tony Lafferty? If you've got that on there, we'll just have a quick look at that. Because, like I said a second ago, he made a right mess of his nose. Is
Oh, it was
that
a belter, wasn't
he's
it?
still like Tony didn't actually win that fight, but if you
No.
look at this clip, that one there, aye.
Look at that, noses away, eh?
Ash Davenport's nose, aye.
He done well though, didn't he? It was fight the night.
It's blood and guts stuff like it. I mean,
You know what I mean? Like you're
take
right
my hat
there.
off to you, like.
Carnage in Cardiff, it certainly was. See, like you see that, you're right. You've got to engage straight away, you know.
It's just, it's
See his chin, like his chin's just up in there. That's only the problem. He's actually talking about coming up to our gym and training with us.
Yeah, actually, that was one thing I was going to go back to. So, did you say that you've got guys from your gym, Goliath, that were fighting on the prelims then on your card?
No, on
then?
this one here. No,
right.
they were fighting on the Manchester card when I fought Canelli. Kyle Cassidy was just doing for purely support, but he's a bit of a nut job, so he taken his shots down on the off chance, and I thought, what are you doing? You're not going to get a fight on BKB last minute. And sure as shit, somebody pulled out for a guy so he fought this guy Chris Carroll on our promotion on a hybrid boxing, and it was a draw, and it was a really close fight, and it was like it was written in the stars. Chris Carroll's opponent pulled out. Now, Kyle was 3 Guinnesses deep. The night before I was getting ready to just go and start cutting the weight, so I was sitting just chilling out, and then he had to go and come cut weight with me after drinking 3 Guinnesses. But he went in there and he gave a good account to himself. We never won, obviously, but to take it on less than 24 hours notice.
So, how much weight did you have to cut?
I think he had to cut more than me. I think I was, what was I only? I was only like 4 kilos or something. He had to cut like 5 or 6 or so, I don't know. But he'd done it.
Wow.
He done well, honestly. He's just a nut job. You know what I mean? But you've got to be a bit crazy to do something like that. You know
So,
what I mean?
what, did you just sit in the sauna for the whole
He
time?
sat in the sauna. I end up going and do it. I like doing it, cutting my weight in the bath. I think it's a lot better. Eh? I think a sauna you can just get out anytime you want. In the bath, you've only got so much Epsom salts and you've only got so much time, and like you've got to stick in it. You know, so I like it. I prefer the bath. I've only done the bath twice now, but it's my preferred way of cutting weight. Like absolutely.
So, is 4 kilograms like a normal kind of weight cut
That's
for you
what I
then?
go. I like to be about 4, no more than 5 or 6. I think I fought on Cage Warriors. I don't know if you see that. I fought against, I can't remember the guy's name now.
Is that Cage Warriors Academy?
Yeah,
I think I might have watched that.
Jay Aspinwall I fought, and I remember cutting 9 kilos. I got a fight on the last minute's notice. They said if you beat Jay Aspinwall, you'll get a shot of the title. And I thought, perfect, let's go for it. 9 kilo to cut.
Wow.
And it was the same day weigh-in, so it was not like I had a whole day to get it. And
Really? You cut 9 kilos and fought on the same day?
I fought never
That's
again.
madness.
Honestly, it was like my hands were made of lead. Couldn't do it. It was just, I wouldn't recommend that. I think if you're going to cut weight to anybody, I think any more than 5 kilos, it starts getting sore.
I wouldn't even cut that on the day either. That's too much.
No, I wouldn't cut that on the day. That was if I'd done the day before. I think 5 kilos is maybe my spot. anything between 3 to 5 I like to be at.
Aye, so what is it? Super middleweight you're fighting at? What is that?
It's 74 kilo.
74.
74.8.
I can remember talking to you and you were doing a lot. I can't remember if it was High Rocks or if it was what's the other one? CrossFit.
Aye.
And you were using that for your
that's what I do.
diet.
Aye, that's
is that what you still do? Is it?
Yeah, I still hit that. Well, we've got the gym at Goliath now called G-Fit, where I'm one of the coaches at it, so I coach it as well. So I'm always in the gym, you know what I mean. But I think it transpires into the boxing because it's a lot of CrossFit's a lot of weights, and it's not just sitting doing static weights. You're moving with the weights, which is obviously, especially for MMA boys, it's a lot better for MMA boys. But High Rocks is more running and more cardio, but it gets you to the red line. You know, you've got to keep going. So I use it for that because I can't just go into the gym and just run on a treadmill. I'm riddled with ADHD. I just sit at the screen watching like that, and it just bores me. I end up just jumping off after 10 minutes. So I've got to do something that keeps me engaged, and High Rocks does that. So I've used that, and since I've put that into my training camps, I noticed tenfold. I'm getting a lot stronger. I'm a lot fitter. I'm known for my cardio now because obviously I'm hitting these sessions and training 3-4 hours a day. You know what I mean?
What age are you now, David?
32.
Oh, you're still
young, well, especially in the bare knuckle game.
Still young, aye.
There's boys fighting at 45 and 50 and that's still in bare knuckle, so I'm still very young at that.
Aye, and these guys have been fighting like
years,
their whole life, and they're still fighting.
There's guys in there 20 fight veterans and things like that. You know what I mean? And obviously, I mean, the fight with Kieran Harden, nobody will take 20 of their fights. You know what I mean? But the James Kennelly one, I could probably take 30 or 40 of them. I think I got hit twice in the whole fight. So it's about longevity. You've got to try and move that ahead. That's what I kind of moved over to. You know, like I noticed in the Kieran Harden fight, I was baiting him, trying to react, and then draw him in, faint back, and then attack, and it was just the wrong kind of strategy. So what I moved over to was moving the head, making a miss, and then countering, and it paid dividends. You know what I mean? You can see the Kennelly fight for yourself. 2 punches landed. I think that's why he landed on me 2 wee terrible jabs.
You look slick in that fight, to be fair.
So I've changed up my style now, so I'm feeling a lot more slicker, and then it obviously transpired into a great win over a good opponent.
Trying not to be.
Sorry.
So on a personal level, then you've just recently got married to your wife Adele as well.
I didn't do it in half, I know. So I got married, and then obviously 2 weeks later I had the fight, so I had to watch what I was eating for my wedding dinner, and there was no alcohol. But obviously we'd done the quake where you put we thought you were there. We had done the quake, so obviously that was a wee shot of whiskey, but I wasn't no drink involved, and watch what I was eating because obviously I had to do the wedding, and then 2 weeks after I was fighting one of the biggest fights of my life.
So are you really strict then with your camps, and do you not drink at all? You don't eat like you?
No, if I drink, I go on a wayward journey. So I try and keep my drinking to a minimum.
Right.
Especially through camps as well. It's just wasted calories. You know, I'd much rather have a good dinner. I like my food, so I think to myself, if you're drinking 3 or 4 beers, that's 500 calories. I'd much rather have a big broad dinner. It sounds boring, but it's true.
When you're cutting weight.
When you're cutting weight, every calorie counts. You know what I mean? You're getting the extra thin bagels, and you're looking at calories. You look like a nut job in the Asda and looking at all the calories, but they're wasted calories when you're drinking alcohol. You know what I mean?
What's your go-to meal then for once you're way done?
I'll go sushi. I love sushi. Heavy carbs, nice good proteins, fresh. I always go with sushi. I love it.
Aye.
It's my go-to thing for anything.
Any pasta?
Nah, I like sushi.
Normally it's
I used to be a Nando's. I think most fighters are Nando's,
Aye,
I'm a sushi.
Stephen normally takes the guys to Nando's. Aye.
Nando's. That's like a total. Every time I speak to a fighter, they're like Nando's. I'm like, nah, get some sushi.
Man, I can't have a Nando's and then compete because
the thing is, protein's wasted. You want to put carbs in your body, because you need the glycogen back and all this nonsense. So it's all carb. So I just go right to sushi.
Aye, I don't know about you, but if I hear a Nando's, like I'm on the toilet quite a lot. So
aye, well that's because it's just extra protein, you know what I mean?
Aye, that's the last thing I would be wanting, to be fair. So you're married to Adele. Is she from? I was going to say
she's from Logelly. She's a local lass.
She's from Logelly, and obviously you're from Kelty.
Local lass.
I mentioned that at the start.
She keeps me on my toes anyway. Too that. She's bonkers.
So is Adele? Is that who you've got your
youngest lassie?
Your daughter?
Yeah, I've got my wee daughter, 2-year-old. She's another wee nut job as well. She'll be a fighter as well, I reckon. I've got an older boy who's he's just left the primary school to go to high school. He's a wee bit more softer, I say to him, you've got to toughen up because Esme's out nibbling at your heels. she's absolute bananas. She's got I've got 2 sides, obviously I'm cool, calm and collected, but obviously I've got the hyper crazy side as well. I think my 2 kids I've taken each side of me, you know what I mean, like Jekyll and Hyde. So I've got Esme's got my wee crazy hyper side, takes no for an answer, and Lucas has got my nice polite gentle side, you know what I mean. So it's funny to see it into the 2 kids.
If you had him into the gym, like
I had him in the
training?
gym. He likes to train in that, obviously. I'm like his wee idol. He's got all my trophies in his room and things like that. Which is good, because you should idolise your father, you know what I mean? If anybody should idolise, it should be your father. So he's got the trophies. So I try to get him into the gym as much as I can, but he just likes chilling out and be with his pals and kicking about the streets. So I just leave him to do that.
Aye. Speaking of the gym, then, who are you sparring with these days? Then are you got like bare knuckle guys?
So that's what we're going to switch up next camp. Obviously, we're looking at the next. We're in early talks of obviously potentially having a Scotland card. Potentially, hopefully, maybe a title shot. So we're just going to see what happens with that. Obviously, it's very early stages and it's nothing written in the stars yet. So what I'm thinking about doing is keeping that over to potentially December. So I'm thinking about getting down to spar all the top boys. And they've all been reaching out to me. Obviously, after beating something like Kennelly with such ease, it puts me in these guys' levels. Obviously, been second in Britain as well. So all these guys are new who actually want to spar me instead of me reaching out to them. So I'm going to try and get down and spar a lot of the boys, reaching out to like Danny Christie's, and I was even talking to like Aaron for Joe Deshawn and things like that. I messaged him and things like that. So
Aaron Chalmers,
yeah. So we're talking about going to spar the boys. There's a few boys at the gym. We have like Kyle Cassidy, who fights for the same promotion. We have spar a lot of him. There's a lot of MMA boys. There's different distances though, you know what I mean? But it's good to put the hybrid boxing gloves on and just go with them. But we're going to start travelling and hitting a lot of the big gyms. There's the new BKB gym down in Newcastle with Mike Terrell and all that. They've got a few boys in there, so we'll have a few away days and get down there.
Aye. So have you not got nothing booked yet then, like your next fight?
I'm going to enjoy my honeymoon. I'm going on my honeymoon on Tuesday, so I think I should just enjoy that, having the shadow of a fight. I think we overshadowed the wedding. We never overshadowed the wedding. The wedding was absolutely amazing. You can ask Callum.
So for anybody listening, Callum was doing the videography for the wedding.
It was absolutely bouncing. We come out to my walkout music and everything. It was top drawer. So I was overshadowed a wee bit by the fight. I had that in the back of my mind, so I'd like to just go and enjoy the honeymoon, and we'll worry about fighting later on.
Aye. Where are you going?
We're going to be Thailand, and then we go to Vietnam, Malaysia, and then we end up in Bali. We're away for 3 weeks, so that'll be good. So we'll get that out, enjoy that, get back home, get skinny again. Because I've been eating like a monster in there.
What's your weight like right now?
86 kilo, I think I'm up at.
86, but you're probably
not really that bad, but it's just I'm used to cutting around about the 82 mark, you know what I mean? So it's not the end of the world, but I like to be strict. But I'm like a paddy. I'm turning into like a paddy pin like that.
But it's not much fun, like just being constantly in a calorie
you've
deficit.
You've got to live your life as well. You know what I mean? You've got to have the wee off days and that. But it's about catching them before it goes doing too much.
You've hardly let yourself go though.
Nah, it's not like I'm 10 stone heavier. You know what I mean?
You'll still be training 6-7 days a week.
I still am. Well, I've lowered it to maybe 4 days a week now. Just until I get back for the moon and that, and then I'll up it again. I'm 6 days a week, usually 3 hours a day. So that's what my normal thing is. If I'm working, it's 3 hours a day. If I'm not working, then I'll end up putting in chucking an extra hour in. So I pretty much live in the gym, you know what I mean?
Is that because you want to just make sure that you're doing as much preparation, or is that?
I just want to be fit. I remember, this is the reason I trained so hard. So years ago, I had a K1 fight. I've obviously done a few things. A K1 fight, I was at 85 kilo, and I remember the guy was a southpaw, so obviously I could come with the back leg and catch it.
Kunle?
No, I wasn't Kunle, no.
He's a southpaw as well.
I thought that was a good fight as well. So the guy was 85 kilo, so I remember catching him inside leg kick with the back leg, stepping through it, and it was like 2 power shots, and then back again, and I was just throwing it for 3 minutes constantly. So it was just like everything I was showing was just pure power. And obviously because I'm not naturally 85 kilo, the guy was just walking through me. So I remember thinking after round 1, like, poo me out. And I mean, I'm not like that. I've got heart for days, you know, but I was like, poo me out. And Hart's like, no, got a grip of yourself. You've just won the round. Just win the next round, and then you have to just survive the third. And I was thinking, that's a good logic. Right, okay, I'll stick in. Got through the second round, and I swear to God, I felt like crying. I had nothing left. I mean, absolutely nothing left. And I said, poo me out. I've got nothing. I can't lift my arms up. He's like, well, you've just won the first 2 rounds. Easy. Just didn't get knocked out. I said, oh, right. And I remember thinking how I felt in that moment there. I thought, I'm never, ever going to be like that again. Because I mean, I've got a heart, but I would have gave my soul just to go to that fight.
So why did you take the fight at 85 then?
I'm just an idiot. I just love my dust up, you know what I mean? I've always taken these wee side quests. If anybody that follows my account sees, just do everything. So after one of my last fights, I fought a guy called Bogdan Saru. It was a last minute replacement, and there was a tournament in the back of my head. With Bad to the Bone, there was a 20 grand tournament, and I was in the back of my head and I was thinking, should I do that? And everybody was saying, no, didn't be daft, man, you've got a bare knuckle fight, focus on that. So I got through that fight relatively easy. So I messaged Steph Hanks, I said, look, get me on that show, and I ended up going and winning it. So I'm always taking these wee side quests. I never just stick to one lane. I'm like, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that.
Well, I mean, 20 grand's a lot. How many fights did you have to win to win
So
that?
I fought 3 times and it was all within about an hour. So you done your fight, there was another fight, then your fight. It was like that. So it was like, I think I fought 3 times within about the space of an hour.
And what, like...
Hybrid boxing, that was when I won the World Championship. So I didn't even know it was for a World Championship. We've got all these influencers backstage and top boys. I didn't realise they were even top boys, so I never done any research on them because I never had time to. And nor I wouldn't have stopped me doing it anyway. I didn't get monkeys, you know. But so I was like, came out, all these boys backstage doing all their influence and nonsense stage stuff and all that. I was like, what are these all boys all about? And they're talking about World Championship, and I'm thinking, aye, but we still got the 20 grand, eh? And they're like, aye. I said, well, keep the belt. I'm looking at monkeys about that. You can, I just wanted the money. But I've got that there. It's good to have, obviously, a World Championship hybrid boxing, but I wanted the 20 grand. There's nothing about that, eh?
So see the rounds in bare knuckle then, it's shorter rounds, isn't it? Is it 2 minutes?
No, we do 5-3s. BKFC are 5-2s.
Right, okay.
So we're actually 5-3s.
These are 5-3s.
5-3s, just that wee bit more, eh?
That's quite a lot. Like 3 minutes is a long round to be
especially getting bare knuckle it is, aye.
Aye, because there's no grappling, there's no...
Well, we've got a wee bit grappling. It's not really grappling.
It's just like a single necktie.
You've got the dirty boxing, you like to work, obviously, as long as you're working, so you've got that dirty boxing. Obviously, me doing MMA, that goes well with that. A lot of the boys come over from MMA to bare knuckle, and they do quite well.
Aye.
You've got the different styles, you've got the switching of the feet. Normal boxers don't really play with that. Normal boxers keep it to the preferred stance and just work off of that. But MMA boys are better with the distance, you know what I mean? Cutting the angles and things like that.
You've got a lot of guys crossing over for boxing as well, the way to bare knuckle.
Well, yeah, they've signed a lot of boys. I think they've just signed you know, Victor Ortiz. Remember he fought Mayweather? He stuck the head in Mayweather.
Aye.
They've just signed him. He's come over.
Really?
I'm thinking who else they've signed. They've signed Big Mike Terrell.
That's a big name then.
Aye, definitely. So the Americans are doing well there. They're signing a few boys I didn't really ken, but they're maybe big names.
Well, maybe they're fighting some of them though, eh?
I would love like Victor Ortiz, but he's small, eh? I didn't realise he was 66 kilo.
Right, aye.
But that'd be a good name, you know what I mean?
Definitely, aye. I take it you just wouldn't say no to anybody
I'll
fight
fight anybody, yeah. Especially big names like that, because it just builds your profile up, you know what I mean?
Aye.
I'm shouting for the world champion for 2 fights ago or something. So I'm potentially working on that. I just think that the champion of BKB, is Smash Nelson. He's LT Smash Nelson. He's the pound for pound king. But I reckon I beat him, eh?
Right.
I don't know. You didn't ken till you're in there with somebody. I've done that before. You think easy, and then you get in there and you realise they're maybe a wee bit trickier than you thought. But I just don't see it. I just think a dog walk on me. But so we're shouting for him. But I think the Americans are protecting him, eh? The rankings come out, and you've seen the rankings. Obviously, I just beat Kennelly. Kennelly was the number 1 ranked guy at the weight, and then somehow I'm number 3. So that makes absolutely no sense.
I thought I read somewhere that you were number 2 in
number 2 in Britain. So number 2 in Britain at the weight,
right.
But number 3 in the promotion behind 2 Americans.
That's still pretty decent though.
It's still good, it's still good. It's just not where I wanted to be. Beating number 1 boy, I should be up there fighting for the world title. But I think they threw a couple of Americans ahead of him so they could protect him. And I think after watching that fight, they realised that he's in for a fair night. You know what I mean? He's never fought a boxer. Like bare knuckle boxing's got a lot of brawlers in it, or MMA boys. But I'm a class striker. You know what I mean? I've been striking for a while. I've been boxing since I was 12-year-old. So he's never fought anybody with that type of the accolades. You know what I mean? So I think he's in for a rough night.
You mentioned Aaron Chalmers, the Geordie Shore guy. What did you think of the fight with him and Darren Till?
He's fighting Jack Fincham next, isn't he? You see that he's got to do much. I thought
he's
he'd done
fought
well.
Jack already, eh?
He's fighting him again. I thought he'd done well with. Till. I thought he was. See, after they put him down, I thought he'd step on the gas, but I think he was. I think he knew it was coming, eh? He must have thought, I've angered him, I'm going in for a certain night. Almost like he never gave up, but it's almost like he taken a wee back step.
It's like he went to throw and then pulled his
that's
punch, and then Till just cracked him with the left.
It's almost like he was scared. Like,
right, pull that wee clip up, Callum.
What was like going to retaliate? I've been in my cell in the gym when I used to train with the Travellers when I was a kid, And I remember you would always just do enough that you didn't look stupid, but you were always scared to hit them too hard because obviously they were bred for that, you know.
What was the name?
It was Aaron Chalmers and Tartan Titan.
Aye, the boy, they
BKFC, that one.
that's a good fight, that.
But I mean, everybody was obviously writing Chalmers off.
Aye.
But Chalmers has been doing that for a while.
He's a heavy hitter as well, you know. He's got heavy hands. You see him. He's fighting Jack Fincham again. He dusted Jack Fincham.
He did, aye.
He did. He was hitting him. You could see that Jack Fincham didn't like that.
I meant to say that Jack Fincher was a boxer previously before he
Well,
done.
I heard that. I didn't know that. Where's he fighting that Jack Fincham? Where is he
It'd
from?
be like Essex or something.
Aye, but does he know it's no only way as Essex or some nonsense like that?
It's one of these sort of.
One of these sort of programmes. Love Island or something probably.
It's something like that, I think. Aye.
He's on there.
But Aaron, when Aaron was in Geordie Shore, he started training MMA and he went to Bama.
I've never seen that because it was my missus watches Geordie Shore. I didn't watch it. It's on the telly. And I remember that's the one there. I thought damn tell.
It's just not got the highlights.
Alright, that's fine. Just skip it to the end,
Aye.
and you'll see. In fact, no, maybe just play it and we'll just chat, and then we'll see the bit that comes up with the.
So I thought he'd done well, but he put his foot off the gas once he clipped him. It's almost like he took the knockdown as a win. Like, you know what I mean?
I think. Well, Mike, did you see the betting odds against him for Chalmers?
What was it?
Well, heavy underdog.
Was it? Aye. What was the odds again? Been interesting to put him on, by the way. I'm a better man.
Well, the only thing that put me off is when you see the two of them, they look at the size of Till.
Till's a big lad, eh? I think that's Chalmers walking around weight. I don't think he's cut down or he's water loaded or anything. Look at that.
I reckon Chalmers is, well, I would have to double check it, but for what I remember for MMA, I think he was featherweight or lightweight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Doesn't look big, eh?
Till fought what? Welterweight, really cutting a lot of weight to fight welterweight.
He looks like a big boy there, eh?
One thing I would say about Till is he's got himself in amazing shape again.
I remember he was heavy, eh? I remember cutting around fat and that, and he was still taking the fights and getting dusted up. But it's good to see him back and obviously enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Aye.
I wouldn't mind a fight with Till at one point, eh?
Did you know? Did you know Chalmers has fought Floyd Mayweather?
In fact, I never watched that, but I remember hearing
I never watched
about
it either, but it's great.
It's good. It's a good accolade to have, eh? You know what I mean?
He drew it in 2023.
Did he?
That's what it says here.
What, Mayweather?
No, it must have just been an exhibition.
Yeah,
it was
it would have been.
Draw decision, no judges, no decision.
So just an exhibition,
right,
just a spar, pretty much, yeah.
Aye, I would imagine Mayweather's toyed with him.
Oh, aye, he wouldn't even have to break a sweat. It's a good thing to put on the CV though, eh? That he went a couple of rounds with Mayweather. Even Till, you know that. But I just think that if he's put him down, he should have put the foot on the gas. You know what I mean?
Do you think Mayweather's the greatest ever?
I don't know. Like I like the old boys like Jack Dempsey's and all them. I mean, I remember obviously I started the boxing when I was young, so I used to get all these tapes. I remember watching all the old boys. They were rough. They were rough boys. Eh? I mean, obviously the boxing's come along then. Obviously the skill and that, but. I don't know, I like Rocky Marciano and all the boys. They used to punch the arms till your arms couldn't hold up anymore and then knock you out. And that sounds scary to me, eh? No, this tippy tappy nonsense and dancing away and cuddling and I mean that sounds like a real man there, hitting your arms until you can't move your arms and then breaking your jaw. That sounds monstrous. You know what I mean? No, please. You know what I mean?
Look at the size of his back.
He's a big lad, eh?
So much bigger,
Plus, he's got a good Thai background. He was an old Thai world champion or something, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was, aye.
He was top drawer, wasn't he?
We're not getting to see the.
I didn't really like
That's fine.
That's fine.
I'll maybe not come across great in the episode anyway for sitting watching it for too long, but. There, it's right there.
Oh, look, he just steps back and just makes him walk onto it.
You see him knock the gum shield right out.
Bosh. They didn't want to get up. I think if he's got a broken jaw.
You can see him shaking his head.
He's like, no.
I think he's just like, wow, I can't.
Aye. That's...
See, to be fair, like, I think, I can't remember if I said this to Stevie in the podcast as well, but like, see if you're hurt that badly, I don't think there's anything wrong with stopping there.
No,
because if you got up,
I'm not like that though. I don't think I just couldn't quit on my feet. It's no in me. I don't know. Obviously you've got to look after your health to a certain degree, but even when I got stopped off Kieran Harden, I didn't want to stop. Like obviously I had my eyes swelled shut and that, but I was like, well, I've got another eye.
Was it no a doctor stoppage?
Aye, a doctor stopped it. Aye, but the thing about that one is, his doctor was stopping it as well because
that'll come. The end of his fight to see his face.
He had broken jaw, broken ribs, pierced lung, and a damaged spleen. So his doctor was pulling him out. Obviously, they didn't care about all that. They knew about the jaw, he was getting pulled out as well. The story with that is my doctor, got to the ref first, and that's why he won the fight. I swear to God, because he thought he lost the fight because he got to it was getting stopped, and then all of a sudden he gets announced as the winner. You see him faulting his knees, so I think that should have been a medical draw, or some kind of draw, because we were both getting pulled out. They were trying to show me when can you see my finger, and I remember doing that. They looked around, they're like, no. So I couldn't see until you got to about there. So which is fair enough, I understand that, but I will never quit on my feet. I've got to be knocked out. I just Kieran Harden, yeah.
Well, there's like a post fight.
Let's see. There we go, look.
Oh, aye.
So that's his jaw.
I mean, this is...
he's sitting pound for pound number 5, I think, or something. He's a good boy. Look at the tubby belly. Look. He's a good fighter. He went to the Commonwealth Games and got a bronze. These are the boys. I asked for him. I've been asking for the top boys. That's what I'm saying. That's why BKB love working with me, because I'm easy to work with. I want all the top fights. At the end of the day, it's a fan-based sport. There's no point of having this padded record. You can say, I'm 5-0, but who have you fought? You know what I mean? I didn't like that. I'd rather be 3-2 and fought all the world champions. You know what I mean? So I'm easy to work with. So I asked for Harden and I asked for him down in Wales. Thought I'll beat him in his own back garden, which I obviously fell a wee bit short, but I got fight of the year as well. I got fight of the night as well, but I got fight of the year.
You see, when you go down to these events, then there's like you're getting a lot of when the crowd recognise you.
Yeah. People come and talk to me all the time, and I'm like, you know what, I'd be ignorant, but I didn't really kind of there. You know what I mean? But you didn't realise you inspire a lot of people, and obviously I said that like you didn't realise because obviously I'm me. Yeah. Again, you didn't realise that you're actually out there inspiring people. You almost get like an imposter syndrome, like, well, I'm inspiring you. What do you mean? What am I doing? But you didn't realise. Because this is normal to me, you didn't realise it's a big deal to people, you know what I mean? It's almost like you just think, well, I'm just a wee boy for Kelly, what are you talking about?
Well, that's what I was just about to say. It's great to see somebody for Kelty, and surely that is inspiring kids for Kelty. Aye. They could, what do they need to do? They could come down to your gym, they could train with you if they want.
I do that all the time. I get a lot of people reach out to me about mental health and that, obviously, because most fighters struggle with stuff like that, I believe, and obviously I struggle with as well. And I think, always, if you can, you do. I believe that if you can help somebody, you can. So I have people reach out all the time, and I go down and train with them at the gym. So we do it all the time. Me and Harris will get some people doing if they're maybe getting bullied at school, or even if they're just struggling with general mental health. I'm actually speaking to a guy now for Kelty. I helped him through a wee bit of a dark spot, and he's opening up a organisation, and I think we're going to every Sunday. Obviously, when I come back from my honeymoon, every Sunday we're going to have a wee high rock session for these people, free of charge. You can just get down and train. I'm a great believer in training. It helps you with your mental health. You know what I mean? I always say, like, you keep moving so it doesn't catch you. It's right behind you, niggling at your heels. If you're going to sit in a dark room, it's going to catch you and it's going to consume you. So I'm a great believer, if you just keep moving, keep doing positive things day to day, it doesn't have to be anything big, just go for a walk, anything. You know, I think keep moving so it doesn't catch you. So I'm going to put up a thing, get the boys down there every Sunday and get boys that are struggling with mental health and get them in moving around and show them that, again, they didn't get up, just get on and get in there and keep moving. So,
aye.
Be good.
So one of the fights we've not mentioned yet is your James Connolly win.
Aye, good one.
Was he undefeated at the time as well?
No, he had quite a lot of defeats, but he's fought a lot of the great boys like Franco, and he's almost like the gatekeeper. He's always been the number 1 or number 2.
Aye.
He's taken a few losses and that, but he's a Hall of Famer. So what happened originally is they had a boy kind of lined up from Reece Murray, which would have been a good fight. But obviously I've been asking for the top boys, so that opportunity come up. I was looking forward to I wouldn't say an easy night because I wouldn't disrespect anybody about that, but Canelo was definitely a harder fight, so I was looking forward to a wee bit of an easier fight after my wedding, but I thought, these opportunities didn't come up. I've been asking for the top boys and not really getting it. So when they asked me about Canelo, I jumped at it, you know what I mean? So Canelo was a good boy to beat. To be honest with you, I was expecting a 5-round war because he has a dog, you know. I don't think much people have actually stopped him. You know, he's a durable guy, but I just walked through him.
Was it 2 rounds or 3?
Two rounds.
2 rounds, eh?
But I thought he was going to get up in the first round because I dropped him in the first round, and the first thing he said, and any fighter that knows this is watching it will see, you never tell him you can't see. Because in the minute they've got to pull you out of that, so he's like, I can't see, and then he started retracting that and saying, no, I can see it. So I was thinking he was almost looking for a way out straight away, which is funny because if you watch a podcast, I watched a podcast that really wound me up. He was saying about me quitting in the last fight with Harden. Obviously I taken a knee because I had blood in my eyes, so I taken a knee just to wipe the blood out of my eyes, and he was mentioning that, which was also a bit of karma. So that's why I never go into fights talking bad about people, because you don't know what's around the corner.
Aye, there's not really any need for it. A lot of guys need to sell fights, obviously.
Just psyching yourself up, you know what I mean? If you have to psych yourself up, that tells me I'm already beating you, because I'm already in the fight, you know what I mean? I don't need to do that. I'm ready just to go.
Brilliant. So obviously we spoke briefly about MMA. Are you still training MMA, or would you be?
I use it for more for the grappling side of things, obviously for the dirty boxing. But I've just got back into the jiu-jitsu. I'm still a white belt, believe it or not. I swear to God, I should be a blue belt. You know, I've just never put the gi on. That's the problem. Right. So I will get my blue belt in the next couple of months probably. But
who's coaching you jiu-jitsu?
They're bringing our guy over from Brazil. And I talked to I met him over in Thailand when we went over to Koh Samui to train. In the lead up to, obviously we're talking about one championship and things like that. They're obviously high in with that gym we go to, so he's bringing him over, and he's going to be training us, so that'll be good. That'll be good there.
So do you like training in the gi? Do you like?
I don't like the gi, I know Kane on the gi, like you love the gi, yeah? No, do you not like it either? No, I'm a no gi. I like
no gi.
I'm a no gi, like I just doesn't. I don't like putting a jacket on. I mean,
it changes the game, but it's.
It doesn't work well for me. I mean, if I'm going to be doing the boxing now, the only problem is, the only reason I stepped away from it for a while is I kept kicking elbows or kicking knees, or even jiu-jitsu, you know yourself, it's hard on the body because you're getting ripped into submissions and things like that. So I take a wee bit of breakaway for it just to focus on it, but I'm missing it. So for the last maybe 2-3 weeks, I've come back to it.
Aye.
So I've come back to it even for the rest of it. It's good cardio. You're working muscles you didn't usually work in boxing, you know what I mean? So
your face is getting a break for getting punched as well.
Well, exactly. You know what I mean? Just getting choked out.
Aye,
that's good.
That's quite a buzz as well, though.
I enjoy the wrestling. I do enjoy the wrestling. I like a bit of wrestling. I'm not that great at it, but.
Aye, you guys have got Scott Malone as well.
Scott Malone's doing a bit of coaching there. Aye, Harris has come back on the scene too, because obviously Harris employed a few decent coaches, but I think he's missing the training side of things. So Harris has come back on the scene, so it's good because Harris is coach. For Harris never been fighting. Harris never fought. Obviously, people they don't know Stephen Harris. He's never really fought at that, but he's tell you what, he's clued up.
He's had kickboxing.
He's done a few Thai fights as well in Thailand and things like that, but a lot of people don't realise that he's actually quite experienced in the coaching. He's good.
He's been involved in martial arts for
I've been with 13 years. I was with him when he had at the fountain in Cownbeef. Just a wee room.
I was there as well. That's where
I started. Look at him now, he's got the old RBS call centre. I think what the square metre in that place is, but it's one of the biggest gyms in probably Britain.
Yeah, some facility, to be fair.
What's he got in the gym? He's got kitchen, he's got Goliath kitchen. Is that? He's got a barber, he's got masseuses, he's got a laser hair removal place, high rocks, boxing, MMA.
A weightlifting gym, obviously.
Weightlifting gym, he's got commercial gyms, everything. It's massive. We had the Americans obviously up. We're trying to get a BKB affiliation. So we're seeing what happens with that in the coming weeks. And they were obviously so impressed with the gym. They've never said that's the best gym they've ever been to. And they've been obviously around the world. So that was quite a good thing to hear, you know what I mean?
Is it the biggest gym in Scotland?
It's got to be.
I think it is, isn't it?
I think it's got probably one of the biggest ones in Britain. I'd imagine so anyway. It's massive. It's the whole building, isn't it? It's huge. So you can stay in there. If you pitch the tent, there's everything there to just stay. There's food, training. No, you can hide in there, eh?
You'll need to get dorms then, it'll be like TriStar.
That's what I think he's going to be doing next. That'd be good, because you can get the boys up. We're talking about me going and travelling for the bare knuckle sparring. It'd be good to get some of the boys up and show them the gym, show them the facility, you know what I mean?
You should have Muir or someone else start to capture what called. I know you're quite good on Instagram.
Well, they've recently put a video up, but videos don't do any justice, eh? Because it's that big, it's like hard trying to catch the whole gym, you know what I mean?
Oh, aye.
Doesn't do any justice, yeah?
Was it two floors too, isn't it?
It's over 2 floors, yeah. So you've got the boxing gym, the high rocks, and there's a strongman gym as well. Yeah, downstairs. And then upstairs you've got the MMA, the commercial gym, and obviously then all the other small businesses, dance studios and that as well. So he's doing well, like he just takes the risks, you know what I mean? I've known him for 13 years. Every time he tells me he's going to do something, I'm like, that's not going to work. I can't, surely, you know. He's like, just watch and sure as shit, it does, eh? So
he's always reinvested into his gym.
Everybody thinks he must be rich, but he didn't realise when you go to business, I've got my own business as well, you never sit cash rich, you're always reinvesting back into yourself, you know what I mean?
You briefly mentioned one championship there. We spoke about that a wee bit off camera, so let's talk about that, because I think that's quite.
So they've mentioned obviously Harris a wee while ago, or before obviously even kicked off in the bare knuckle. Obviously they're quite the one championship. They're not really interested in grapplers. They're more interested in getting the high level strikers involved. So they've obviously messaged Harris saying, look, we're interested in your boy David there. And obviously, as I'm kicking on with the bare knuckle, they've intensified that. So it's something that I'll need to think about what I'm going to do, because I don't want to take a time away from the bare knuckle, obviously, but I'm potentially maybe going to go over in January and see about maybe fighting there in February. So it's something I'll need to sit down and think about. Obviously, first bare knuckle comes first now, because obviously that's what's paying the bills, and that's my first love. You know what I mean? That's,
is that more lucrative for you than one championship?
I think it would be. I mean, my love is bare knuckle in a way. You know, it's caught me, it's taken me away from MMA, but it'd be good to get in there and be the first ever Scottish MMA fighter. You know what I mean? It would be good to get in there and do it. So it's something I'll need to sit down and have a think about, but I'll do it after the honeymoon.
See, to be honest, like my honest opinion on it, I think like you're pretty much recognised as a bit of a star in bare knuckle boxing now, in that company. So, however, one championship, and there's not many people can say they've competed in that. So I could understand why you're looking to do that.
Another one to CV. It just climbs your profile, because we're still trying to climb up still trying to get ourselves recognised. We're still trying to do that. So that would just add to that. You know what I mean? So I didn't care why I wouldn't, but it's just going out to Thailand and training for 4 weeks. You know what I mean? Taking time away for the business, taking time away for the family, but it's just what you've got to do, You know what I mean? Strive for greatness.
Aye, so how many fights do you think you're away for getting a title shot then in bare knuckle?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I think beating the number one boy, I think that I'm there. There's in talks of having a show in December, so I mean, if that does come into fruition, that would be good, because then I would just wait off. I'd have a long camp, I'd go take a bit of time to go and spar the top boys, and take some of the boys for the gym down to show them the experience, what they could be, what could happen, and then I would take a bit of time and obviously fight the world champion in Glasgow, which that would sell a lot out, because there's never been a Scottish champion ever. So obviously you've got the BKFC and things like that, but that belt that BKB have is the oldest belt in history. It's the Police Gazette. That's we've seen the people fighting on the cobbles and that, they're fighting for that belt. That's the Police Gazette. It's been about 180 years it's been active.
Really?
So there's never ever been a Scottish world champion.
Is that, are we talking about like
Police
traveller sort of boxing here?
No, proper heavy duty. I'll need to look at the actual research, but it's 160, 180 years.
Bare knuckle boxing's been going on
why?
Like an actual
I don't know
organisation?
if it's had a break or not, but that belt's been around for 160 years. Police Gazette. I need to do a proper bit of research. I've only ever looked to see if there's a Scottish champion, because I would love that.
It looks like Callum's searching for it just now.
I'll go for it, aye.
First awarded to John L. Sullivan in 1882.
There you go. So it's an old belt.
Wow.
Mad, eh?
And this is for bare knuckle boxing?
Bare knuckle boxing, yeah. There's never ever been a world champions for Scotland.
See, the thing is with bare knuckle, I always thought it was like, it was kind of
stuff.
Exactly. It was
that's
illegal when.
That's what I'm saying. So when I see people, you got to come watch my bare knuckle, they're thinking, I'm not going to that, because I'm going to go and be watching the hay bales, or there's going to be all these nut jobs around.
Like snatch or something.
You know, they expect that. That's what I'm saying. So each, there we go. There's my belt. Aye.
So that's what the champion of BKB wins.
Yeah. So they've managed to acquire that. So it just makes it that maybe extra special. You know what I mean? So I'm fighting for these belts and that, but that's the one you want to fight for. It's the oldest belt in history. As I say, there's never been a Scottish champion, so that's what I'm aiming for. There's Smash there. That's the boy there. So he's the pound for pound number one now, and he's a champion at my weight and the weight class below. He's a double champion. American guy. I just think having him in Scotland would be brilliant. It would make history. You know what I mean? I don't think there's even been a guy from Scotland fought for it. I don't think it's been that. So there's been Scottish, obviously British champions and things like that, but there's never been a world champion. So that's what I'm aiming for.
So how many times has he defended the title then?
He's probably one of the best to do it. He's good. What's his record? 8-1 or something. I don't know how much defences he's had, but I've watched a few of his fights. He's like a zombie. He just walks forward. Takes LT Smash Nelson. He just walks forward. People were hitting him with absolute bombs. And he just walks through them. But I've got a heavy right hand, so we'll see if he walks through that one. You know what I mean? I just think he's there to be hit, and if you hit him hard enough, you'll put him down. That's my logic.
Aye, and your durability as well, like you've got that never see die attitude.
I'll never quit, and it would be good to see two immovable objects smashing into each other, because he's the same. He's got no quitting him as well, and I think it'd be an absolute belter of a fight. You know what I mean? But two has just gone for it.
Yeah, it's 8-1 with one draw.
Just a record. Yeah.
So the one draw was actually against Kennelly,
Yeah.
and it was a good fight, and arguably beat him. People were, you know what I mean? Yeah, people arguably say James Kennelly beat him, but
1 KO.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so
KO.
So he's stopping everybody, you know what I mean? He just walks through them. I think he tires people out. People obviously, he's there to be hit, so people throw a lot of volume, and he just walks through them and tires them out, which that's not going to happen to me. Yeah, you know what I mean? As we say, we touched upon before. My cardio is my biggest tool. You know what I mean? So I think he'd be in for a rough night. Like,
have you officially called him out at all?
Aye, I called him out the last fight. I've called him out the fight before that. But I mean, I think he's only ever taken notice after this fight, rightly so. I mean, everybody's shouting him out. You see the show at the time, there's like 3 or 4 boys shouting him out because obviously he's the red panty night, isn't he? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Everybody's shouting him out, you know. But I think he's got to take note now after I've walked through Canelli so easily. I mean, he's went, how much rounds did he go with Canelli? I think it was 2. I don't think he stopped Canelli the last fight as well. I think he got a draw with Canelli, a draw, and I think the other fight went the distance. I remember watching it, Ted.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you go. So that's what I'm saying. So he's not even managed to stop Canelli, and I've just walked through him. So he's got to take note now. You get what I mean?
You've set a statement there. Definitely.
The problem is that it gets overshadowed by all the other donkeys of the promotion shouting him out, like one fight in and wanting to shout for him and that. So it kind of gets watered down a bit. But I mean, believe it or not, I'm wanting that fight next day. I didn't see any other fight that makes sense. You know what I mean? Why else would you take the risk of fighting somebody else when I'm there knocking at the door? So the only other fight that would make sense would be the Kieran Harden rematch. You know what I mean? There's only 2 fights that make sense. If none of them fights are there, I'm not at that's one of the ones I'm going to entertain.
Aye. So how does is it similar to the UFC then? Do you just deal with like a...
Well, I've went and got myself a fight manager now to deal with all that.
Right.
Obviously, as I'm climbing up on now, I thought, okay, Matt, I'll just let the fight manager deal with all that, and they've got my best interest at heart. I'll let them deal with that stuff behind closed doors, and I'll just focus on the training. You know what I mean? But obviously, I know what direction I want to go in. You know what I mean? I'm wanting the world title, and I think that, and if they're going to have a Scotland show, it makes sense to put that on. That's the one that's going to drive the most crowd, you know what I mean? Try to make history, you know what I mean? So
have they actually approached you about Scotland then? Or is
well, they said they mentioned it, but they're still trying to find venues and they're still trying to get the dates set down and that. So it's in the early stages, but it'd be good if they got that stapled right down and got that on with that, you know what I mean?
What sort of like arenas are they selling it just now?
I think they were at the AO Arena. That was a good crowd, you know. It wasn't overly busy, but I don't know. They talk about the Calvin Hall. I don't know what that is in Glasgow, but I think there's been a few. There's that.
Carlin Hall, did you say?
Calvin Hall, I think it's called. I don't know. In Glasgow, that'd be a good one. Well, they talk about the SSC, but I think the SSC would be a bit too big now. I don't know. We'll see though. I mean, I'd fight anyway. I'd fight in the back garden.
Aye. I think BKFC are they not coming to the Hydro?
I think they're going to the Hydro.
So that's what Stevie's fighting on.
Aye, that's going to be a good show. I'm going to go to it. Like, I know we John Telfair and that too, so I'm going to go and support the boys.
You sparred with John?
I'm going to go and spar with him. I've not sparred with him yet. Like, it'd be good. I'm going to go and link up with these boys. Next fight camp.
Sean Beer as well.
Sean Beer, big laddie, isn't he? He's doing well for himself.
I do fancy sparring him.
I've never seen him in live, but he looks like a big unit, eh?
It's
good to see the Scottish boys doing that though, because we need to start putting more Scottish boys on the map. You know, I think Bare Knuckle is overrun by the Welsh. I think the Welsh are doing well. You know, every time I go to a Welsh show, the Welsh are absolutely annihilating everybody. Eh? The English obviously are there. There's more English people, but I think the Welsh are the ones that are taking over the sport now. And I think it's good to see the Scottish boys are kicking back with like Sean Weir and even John Telfair. I know he got beat his last fight, but the boys are looking good. They're all tough and durable. You know what I mean?
Aye, Brian Hislop, he's won a couple
of
fights
as well. Aye, his and that. So it's good to see the Scottish boys are on the scene. But good if we get them all in the same promotion, eh? You know what I mean? We'd be able to put a proper show on, eh? So it'd be good if we get them over to BKB.
I wonder if what would be the situation and if BKFC wanted to have you?
Well, so after I won that 20 grand tournament I talked about, I got a message from one of the boys trying to get me to go over, but it's just the payment thing. I couldn't wait 6. If it is true, I don't know if it is true because I've not had dealings with myself, but I just wouldn't wait that long to get paid.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's kind of normal business. Like I hate to wait 6 weeks to get paid some of my plumbing jobs.
Well, I suppose I'm not like that. I'm a painter to trade, so PVC. I paint PVC windows, which is a new thing. I get paid right there and then, so I'm used to quick cash right there and then. So,
I've seen the work that you do. It looks good, to be fair.
It's good. It's a new thing. It just allows me time to train. So I'm able to work 2 jobs a week, and then I'm just training the rest. So
which is what you need to be doing. You need to be focusing on this.
You need to find something like that, exactly.
You've got to put everything into this.
So I've also got my fight managers. They're going to be talking about doing like some kind of trading or something. What their idea is try to take me off the tools and get me just training. So that was another thing. I had a meeting with them. They're talking about like gold trading and things like that. So we can just do. They give me signals and that, so I can work without working. So they get money. Like I think the boy made about £1,000 last week, just doing trading. So that's another thing that the manager bring to you. They're going along the ideas of getting me enough money where I don't have to work and I'm just fighting. So I think anybody that's out there, I would advise getting a fight manager. You know what I mean? Because they do have your interests at heart. You know what I mean? Their idea is to get me off the tools and get me just training, which would be brilliant.
So what about, obviously you'll have sponsors as well though, that'll be helping you like fund your training and your career.
What I feel about the what I'm doing, so I've got to get them. I've got them all written down because occupational hazard of getting punched in the head. I'm absolutely terrible with my memory.
Who have you had the longest? Who was your first sponsor?
Think about Sarah, probably Sarah Allen. She's actually one of my close friends. I've grew up with Sarah. She's the teeth fighting. But she. So obviously when I done that 20 grand tournament, the boys, bless them, that were in the promotion, they've obviously been doing all the promo videos, and they had to sell 50 tickets to qualify. So obviously I've done it in 6 days' notice. So the boys like to me, look, you need to try and have 50 tickets, but if you can't, you just try and do your best. But we need at least minimum of 15. So bless Sarah. Sarah went out and was getting people to pay for tickets, even though they wouldn't have gone. Like David's got a chance of winning 20 grand, and she went out and no canvas, but hit all her pals up. So she made that happen, so I drew her that as well.
How much was that ticket?
I think it was 50, 60 quid. Really?
Wow.
Quid, maybe something like that. I can't remember, it was that while ago.
Well done, Sarah.
So she done it and gave me a hand with that, her and Peter, her man, so they're always at all my fights as well, you know what I mean? So they're always there. So they're my biggest supporters. They've also got my pal Dougie, who owns a steakhouse. Absolutely amazing.
Who's that?
I'm going to try and pronounce it right, but it's absolutely Ishiku. It's in Edinburgh, over in Edinburgh. It's Wagyu. Absolutely amazing. Honestly, if you like your food, I'd get out of there. Like, it's a bit pricey, but it's very good. It's worth the money. I like that. See, I'm on the 20 grand. I think I must have spent about 5 grand on food. I'm even joking. I'm a big foodie. I'm just like, these are all big, fine establishment dining places, and I was like, let's go. But my missus is happy just to go to McDonald's. Get what I mean? I'm like, no, let's go to this place. Let's go to this place. We've always got my missus as well. She gets the spot. She gets put in there for nothing, right?
What does she do?
Makeup. She's just started up herself now, so
right.
She's doing well with that. She's getting busy now. She's just only recently started up about maybe 3 months ago, so she does the makeup. So she gets on there for nothing. Okay, that's sorry for. No, no, so she got to part with me because I'm quite. That's what I hear, Henry. You get the prime spot for putting up with my nonsense. And then we've got Kieran Gillespie, the plumbing. He helps me out with some of my training gear and things like that. You know, Kieran Gillespie, KG Plumbing. We've got obviously my masseuses. I've got 2 masseuses to work off of because obviously I train quite hard. So I used to have Martin Cherry, Mind and Body Clarity. So he obviously helps me out. But when he can't, I've got Nadia at NRG. So I've got 2 of them. We all work off each other. We're on a group chat together. So if one can't get me, the other one gets me, which is perfect. We're training 6 days a week, 3 hours a day. I need to look after myself in recovery. Aye. Then we've got Asif Mahood, Energy Price. He obviously helps people out with and big businesses. Right. So he obviously helps them with their water supply and things like that, getting their water prices down, which is always handy if you've got a big business. You've got Jamie McAllister, so he does Sky's the Limit competitions. You seen that?
Is that like kind of like young comps?
It's like a young comps, but he's up in Perth. So he does like big cars, and he's like young comps on steroids, pretty much. And you got big fancy cars and all that nonsense. Then you've got Billy Burton by Black Dot. I can never pronounce that. Black Doctrine. It's like a clothing band, oversized t-shirts, which is good when you're feeling a bit frumpy like I am now. Like oversized t-shirts on it, you know what I mean? Chili Bird. She's the one that owns Goliath Kitchen. So Goliath Kitchen's opened up a place, and she's from Thai.
What's that, like meal preps?
Aye, but she's a Thai background, so you can imagine what the food's like. It's amazing. So Chili Bird, she does all the chili oils and that as well. Brilliant. And you've got my cousin Che, who's a mechanic. He helps me with a lot of my training stuff and that. He kitted me with. That last fight camp there, I went and bought myself 24-ounce gloves, and that's how you can see my hand speed. So people usually train in 10s or 12s, maybe even 16s. I put 24s on, and what a difference. The gloves were 250 quid though, so I got a wee bit of help from my cousin Che, so it was bra.
I didn't know they did 24 ounces.
Well, neither that, and then I seen it and I was like, wow, here we go. I just think to myself, if you think about this, I was training with them a whole camp, and then see me take them off, going from 24s to 0. You just felt so snappy, So I train with them as much as I can. You don't really feel much of a difference. When you get to round 3 or 4, you're like, oh my god, the shoulders are in agony. But see me take them off and go to bare knuckle, you're just so snappy. And obviously it worked out well. Nothing can I clean it out.
Did you have plenty of practice with bare knuckle on the street then before?
No, well, you say that. I remember I got myself in a bit of bother doing in Cardiff. I was doing for the
I've heard about this. So my understanding the story is you were out and the guy was causing trouble and you told him to leave 3 or 4 times. And
so what happened? So I was doing obviously for the Cage Warriors Academy, and we went out, me and Harris, and I was only just drinking a wee bit. I wasn't that drunk, but the boy was saying to me like, "You're no fair here," and I went, "No, I'm doing for the cage fighting." was meant to fight, but I think I had done something with my hand or something, or broke my finger or something. And he was like, "All right, aye, you think you're hard like?" I was like, "Aye." But I just was joking. I thought he was joking, because the Welsh accent is such a soothed, lovely accent. I was like, aye, I do. And then he's like, "Do you want to fight or something?" And I went, aye, absolutely. Well, I just thought he was only joking and being a bit of banter, And he goes upstairs and there he is, still carrying it on. So I remember pushing him, and then he walked towards me and I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. And he was a big rugby player, So I just went bosh, and then I broke his jaw in 2 places, and I didn't realise. So what they've managed to do is, obviously I went up the road, none the wiser, driving up the road as quick as we could to our hotel, dodging about 600 sheep in the process. Harry's got to be one of the best drivers, obviously, but just dodging sheep, and we managed to get away. But then about 6 months later I got a chap at the door with the police. So what they've done is, obviously they realised that I'm fighting on the Cage Warriors. I went up, back to the date, found the poster that I was meant to fight on, found who I was, found where I stayed, and I phoned the police for up there. So I went down, and I was actually meant to do my bare knuckle fight around about the time of the court case. I kind of put that on hold, put that on ice now, because I didn't want to have that label of bare knuckle boxer and having that there. So I kind of put that on ice for a bit, but it still kind of backfired because I was doing MMA. So I kind of was getting, I think they were looking at 18 months inside, and I mean, first offence, you know what I mean? But obviously they wanted to make an example of me. Their idea of it was, you're coming down here causing bother to your country, and you're an MMA fighter, you're trained, which is true to a certain respect. If you are trained, you should maybe try and avoid trauma. But
when guys are saying to you, you do MMA, you think you're hard, do you think you could bang me? That's how many times have you heard that?
I know, you get it up here, but see when you people up here, you just go, like, behave yourself, scanter on, you know what I mean? I just wind them up, can I say, I'm like, I win the hit lasses, or you can dodge it up here, but when you're in a different country and you don't know who you're talking to, or and that guy could have been one of the hardest guys about there, I didn't ken, so you got to lash out in that aspect.
It sounds like he wouldn't leave you alone though. So
Aye,
what choice did you have there?
To be honest with you, my recollection at night was only brought back after watching the CCTV camera on the court, because I remember him walking up the stairs and saying it to me, but that wasn't the case. He must have said it to me at the door. So obviously that my statement didn't marry up with what happened, and I thought, so I had to go down there and take my hands up. I remember him walking up the stairs and saying to me, and I remember him taking jackets off and that, which never happened. That he put his jacket on after. I didn't care. So obviously what I thought happened never happened. It happened in reverse. So he put his jacket off after I hit him. It was all just ski whiff. So obviously when I went to the court case, they've said that's not what happened, and they've just came out, you went down and caused bother. So got my wee bum scale, but I managed to avoid it. I got a suspended sentence instead. So just pleaded obviously about. Well, I mean, my missus would have been a heartbroken. I went to Thailand for a month and she was phoning me greeting all the time. So imagine me 18 months in the jail, she wouldn't have been able to cope with that. I was like, get a wee bed beside me. But I managed to avoid that. So I always avoid drama if I can. I just think, especially someday if I'm doing bare knuckle boxing, I should be able to avoid drama. You know what I mean? If somebody's going to come and start me, I'll just walk away, because look what I've done with one punch. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be lifting. My granddad gave me it tight. My granddad's like, you man like your size shouldn't be hitting people, but sometimes people ask for it.
The problem you've got with a criminal, if you end up with a criminal record, is it's a nightmare to get into America.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to touch upon. It would be good to get over to America, but that's the problem now. I've got that. It's a GBH charge. I don't think they do GBH up here anymore. No. You get serious assault up here, but it's a GBH charge, which is hard to get into America. I don't know if because you're under the umbrella of BKB, you'll probably potentially get in there. I don't know, but it's definitely making it harder. You know what I mean? That's why if you are a fighter, you need to learn how to walk away. You know what I mean? The
best place for you is in the gym at the weekends.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? I didn't go to causing bother, and I didn't like it either. I try and avoid drama at all costs, because like you're saying, it only hinders your production. You know, it hinders you moving forward. You know what I mean? You're doing all the hard work in the gym just to undo it on the street, which is just silly. I learned that myself, and obviously when I got bottled and slashed, you can know that hard work I put in the gym, getting into the GB team and things like that, just pure undone by 50 minutes of madness.
Did we speak about that on the podcast?
I think we did.
About the. I wasn't sure I was getting mixed up before we started rolling. Aye. Well, I think I've pretty much asked you everything that I was wanting to ask you. You got anything like you want to take a second to say, or obviously you've covered your sponsors now. It's been good to see it. It's been interesting. I've learned a wee bit about.
I'm going to get doing a roll with you again. You can maybe teach me some stuff. I'll teach you how to punch.
Aye, well, listen, I'm sure did you know spoke about coming in to spar
Aye, I was going to end up doing his
Friday.
Aye, I'll maybe get doing it.
Aye, well, you could always come.
Curtis goes down, doesn't he?
Aye, Curtis is good.
I'll get doing with Curtis and that. Like, aye, it'd be good. I like training in the gyms. It's good to keep everybody, especially boys local and that, keep included. You know what I mean?
Aye. I think you've got on fine more guys. It's not like.
Is this getting cuddled there? I hate getting cuddled there.
Aye.
Is this my one weakness?
Our gym is quite grappling heavy, even our MMA guys
Jab
as well.
and run.
Aye, that's what the fence is for, though. Use the fence to help you.
Aye, I know. Aye,
When
brilliant.
you're fighting a boxer.
I carry leg kicks as well. I remember when I first started the MMA, I remember fighting a Thai guy and I was battering him. I'm like, what's this boy doing? He's just standing in front of me, but he was kicking my leg. It wasn't until the next day I thought, oh, you won.
The first time you experience a Thai kick is something else.
It breaks your head, doesn't it? You know?
And you're not used to
I'd
it.
rather take a punch in the face by a knuckle than a kick to the leg. I really would want it, and that sounds daft to say that.
It's like getting hit with a baseball bat.
Oh,
Like,
it breaks your
Thai
heart.
kick.
Absolutely breaks your heart.
Perfect. Well, Davey, thanks very much for coming on, pal. It's been great.
Brilliant, cheers mate.
Thanks everybody for listening. Cheers.